hoop some tearaway stabilizer. Go ahead and run color stop 1, which will give you all of the outlines for everything. You'll have something that looks like that. Now what it's going to do is it's going to tack down each of the zippers. So go ahead and take your zippers. This is just a 5-inch zipper I had laying around, and center it within this box. So take the teeth and center the teeth within this box and tape it down. You can now go run your tack down stitches. The next step is going to attach this outside panel here, this little tiny one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your exterior fabric, you're going to line it up with the bottom stitch here, tape it down, and run the tack down. Make sure your fabric is right side facing down. If you have a directional fabric, take that into consideration as well. The piece that I used for the exterior is about a 5 by 3. You'll now have this. It is stitched down. You're going to go ahead and flip it over and do the exact same thing for the lining material. This is how I have mine taped down so I can make sure that it doesn't get stuck when the machine runs it over. Now you have something that looks like this on the front, that on the back. You're going to go ahead and flip both pieces down to cover this entire bottom square here. You'll have something that looks like this. The next thing is going to do a stitch right here to kind of attach the back and the front together. So I did a satin along the top to kind of hold it down. The next thing is going to stitch around this entire bottom to keep it all together. You now have the front portion of your first pocket finished. Now you're going to attach the lining for this first pocket. So the next step is going to attach the lining. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your lining piece, make sure that it fits this entire section here. And you're going to take that and you're going to lay it like so. So for this one, you want the pretty side facing up, so that way when you flip it down, you can see the pretty fabric on the inside. Go ahead and run the color stitch to tack it down. Now you'll have something that looks like this. In the front, the back. You're going to take your lining and fold it down to. So now your backing will look like this. And your front looks like this. The next step is to add this little tiny accent piece between the two zippers. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of fabric. I'll get you the measurements. The measurements for that piece is a 5 by 2. That's what I'm going to use. And you're going to go ahead and lay it right side down like that, covering the top of the zipper. You'll now have something that looks like this and eventually will look like that. What you're going to do now is you're going to flip open the. You'll now have something that looks like this. You can go ahead and take this and flip it up and do the final satin stitch right here. So it should look something like this. I kind of just fold mine so that it's butted up against the zipper. And you're going to go ahead and run that satin. The next step is going to be this exterior part here. So you're going to take this, fold it under, and line it up so it butts up against that zipper. It'll look something like that. Go ahead and run the tack down. So now the little area here is complete. You're going to do the backing section. So get a piece that can cover from there till where the stitching is down here. Make sure it fits. Take it, line it up with this line right here, right side facing down. Now you're going to take this and flip it like so and tape it at the bottom. The next step is going to run the pretty satin here to finish off that little area. It'll look like that on the back. The next step is the top exterior, this little tiny piece right here. I'm going to go ahead and use another 2 by 4 piece. I'm going to go ahead and place it right side to right side, right up against this top zipper here, and run the next color. It'll look like this. You're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the lining. So flip it over and attach. You'll have something that looks like this and like that. Go ahead and flip them up and tape it down. So the front will look like that. The back will look like that. Go ahead and run the next color stop, which is going to do a stitch here. After that's done, you'll have something that looks like this. You're going to make sure that everything is being covered. And the next step is going to stitch up here to tack down the whole front part. This next step is going to run the placement stitch for your little tab. For this next step, as you can see, the placement stitch is here. I take a piece of fabric. It's approximately 2 wide by 4 long, and I'm going to fold it like this. Fold the ends in, and then I'm going to fold it down in half. So it looks a little something like that, and then on the inside, it looks like that. You're going to go ahead and line it up with your placement here and tack it down. Make sure your tab is facing inward. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your zipper pulls into the center, and you're going to take your exterior fabric and lay it right side down. It should look like this. I tape this down to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And now I'm going to take my exterior fabric and lay it right side. So, like so. And the next step is going to stitch all the way around, tacking this together. You should now have something like this that's fully enclosed on the front and open on the back. Now we're going to do the lining piece. So we're going to take it, make sure it's a piece big enough to cover the entire area of the bag, and lay it pretty side to pretty side. Tape it down and run the color stop. This one's going to do a stitch all the way around, leaving an opening for turning. You'll have something that looks like this. It has a hole here for turning. You can go ahead and remove it from the hoop and flip. You'll now have something that looks like this with the hole. Go ahead and flip the tear away and go ahead and seal up your lining. Once you've sealed up the lining, it should look like this. I just used a little bit of Fabri-Tac, and now you're going to flip it again through this zipper. You can go ahead and remove the tear away from this zipper here. You now have this really cute double zipper bag. The credit card fits in here. You could put a little change in here. This pocket goes all the way down to the bottom. This pocket is from here to here. It'll be available in the 4x4 and 5x7